Hello and welcome to a Shanghai Flyer flight review. Today I am traveling from New York to Hong Kong via Vancouver on Cathay Pacific's flight CX-889 in first class. Cathay Pacific is located in American Airlines Terminal 8 at JFK Airport. I arrived plenty early for my 10 p.m. departure in order to maximize the time in the wonderful American Airlines Flagship lounge. I have to say that Terminal 8 is certainly one of the best terminals at JFK I've ever been to. It is spacious and neat, unlike the other ones where it is often glamorous and uninviting. After presenting my first-class boarding pass to the lounge agent, my friend and I were escorted into the Flagship First dining facilities. Although not clearly labeled on the website, Cathay Pacific First Class passengers can bring one guest with them into Flagship dining. Flagship First Dining is an exclusive restaurant-style service where you can order from an a la carte menu. The admittance to this lounge is especially strict. American Airlines invitation-only concierge key members can't even enter unless they're traveling on premium business and first-class flights. Our aircraft of the day has a registration of BKPJ, a Boeing 777 delivered in 2009 to Cathay Pacific. After spending over 2 hours in the dining room with my friend, I wrapped up my dinner with American Airlines signature sundae. Flagship First Dining is absolutely the place to go if you are eligible. It is honestly one of the best commercial lounge experience you could ever get in America. However, if you are not eligible, you are still entitled to the Flagship Lounge when flying Cathay Pacific's business or first class out of JFK. Despite it's not as exclusive, it's still a wonderland compared to the Admiral's Club next door. It is eventually the time to board, which is a nice thing to do after spending over 2 entire months in the States.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Cathay Pacific Airways would like to welcome our first-class passengers, business-class passengers, Marco Polo Club members, and One World members. You may board through gate number 4 at this time.
因为让它下面这一颗放了，你再放公务的。也是，因为不然你会被全飞机人注视。多注意。
Thank you. Before anything starts, a glass of Krug 2004 is a must while it is still available. As you have already seen, Cathay Pacific has a generous 1-1-1 configuration of the first-class cabin on Boeing 777, unlike the vast majority which has a 1-2-1 config. I can't verbally emphasize the enormous width of this seat. You can absolutely fit 2 people comfortably in one of these seats. Another thumbs up is that there is no overhead bins in Cathay Pacific's first-class cabin. This makes the cabin even more spacious, and I can also finally stand up straight inside my window seat. Beside the seat, there is a small storage cabinet, which is ideal for small personal devices. On each side of the seat at eye level, there is also an unadjustable reading light. While on the aisle side, there is a pocket that contains some literature items such as the safety card, magazine, and the menu. The TV can be swung out like this. However, this tiny 17-inch TV with subpar resolution is certainly a letdown in an otherwise superb suite. Bose Quiet Comfort 25 is the headphone used in Cathay's first class. It is slightly firm but a big step up from the business class headphone. The table for the abbreviated dinner was set within 30 minutes of takeoff. On a 5-hour red-eye transcon, it is imperative to ensure an efficient service to maximize the rest. Everyone is entitled of their own breadbasket in first class. I wasn't able to film the menu as it was taken away before I realized. Cathay Pacific offers a la carte menu in first class. You can order anything from the menu at your convenience. I chose the potato leek and truffle soup to start. followed by a stir-fried beef with XO sauce. The beef turned out to be a lot more tender than I expected. The bed was set immediately after my return from the lavatory. The only problem I have with such comfortable bed is that the amber fasten seatbelt sign literally eliminates the entire cabin when it is turned on. Before I knew it, I was waken up by the lovely flight attendant as we commenced on our descent into Vancouver. With 1 hour and 30 minutes of layover on the ground, I had ample time to discover the entire cabin of this Boeing 777. On the flight going toward Hong Kong, all the passengers are required to remain on the aircraft, while on the opposite direction going toward JFK, all passengers are required to disembark and sit in a confined area in the terminal. Now let's utilize this special opportunity to explore the timeless cabin of this Boeing 777. Immediately behind the first class, there is a mini business class cabin, consists of 8 seats. It is certainly the best business class seat you could ever get with this configuration, so make sure to reserve them in advance. Coming up next is the main business class section, consists of 45 seats. All of Cathay Pacific's long-haul fleet are configured in this 2011 generation of reverse herringbone seats. While there are many more fancy products in the recent years, the reverse herringbone is still a timeless design. There are also 34 premium economy seats configured on this aircraft. This is also the only configuration in Cathay's fleet that entitles premium economy an individual lavatory. Now let's return to the heaven and buckle up for another 13 hours of indulgence. After reading the menu, I have to admit that this is one of the best I have seen in a while. I can't even remember the last time I saw lobster as a main course on Cathay's menu. Since I was traveling with my family, I asked the flight attendant to set up a larger tray table for face-to-face dining. This is really an outstanding feature that separated Cathay's first class from others. I was very glad to see caviar, lobster, and crook champagne being served on Cathay's first class. Despite the endless cost cut in business class, Cathay's first class is still one of the most consistent and prestigious products in civil aviation. After a sumptuous and fulfilling meal, I was ready to take a nap in arguably the comfiest bed in the sky. Now let's check out the amenity bag. Cathay Pacific uses ASOP amenities in first class in some of their lounges in Hong Kong. It is indeed a decent brand with solid products, but in my opinion, the portion that was given in the amenity can be called as pathetic when you compare that to Qatar Airways 70ml Armani amenity in business class. As you can hear in the background when I was opening the amenity bag, the flight attendant was aware of the fact that I was awake and proactively offered me some snacks. I chose to try the crab cake and some jasmine tea amidst the moderate turbulence over Sapporo. After another round of nap, daylight is peeking into the cabin, as it was the time to freshen up for breakfast service. One of the advantages of first class is that you can eat whenever you want. I chose to have mine at the latest hour. This is the key to maximize the rest on a long-haul flight that arrives at 7 a.m. local time. You sure want to avoid being woken up in business class and eat a so-called breakfast at 3:30 a.m. Since there were only 4 first-class passengers, I asked the flight attendant to bring me another round of caviar to accompany the dim sum breakfast. Finally, let's check out the Pajamas in daylight. Cathay Pacific uses PYE, P-Y-E, a Chinese brand that specializes in collared shirts to provide the first-class slippers and pajamas. The texture of the pajamas is absolutely first-grade despite the weird green color that wasn't my liking. You are also entitled to a 500 Hong Kong dollar gift card at the store, which is equivalent to about 65 US dollars. Every good thing comes to an end sooner than my liking. Although I had already spent 21 hours in the suite, I still didn't want to disembark. Cathay Pacific's first class has been around for almost a decade, but the level of comfort and unbeatable hospitality is still unparalleled by any others. Despite the fancier suites and apartments nowadays in commercial aviation, Cathay's first class is a legendary product that still carries its glory. Although Cathay Pacific's first class hard product is no longer industry leading, it always grants you an atmosphere of home once on board. Last but not least, thank you for watching this 21 hours journey from New York to Hong Kong, and while you enjoy this stunning approach, please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hong Kong. It is a safety requirement that you remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned off. Please be careful when opening the overhead compartments as items inside may fall out. Kindly pockets and overhead lockers for any left-behind articles such as your mobile phones and passports, and take all your belongings with you when leaving the aircraft. Personal electronic devices with cellular functions may now be switched on. For passengers with connecting flights on Cathay Pacific and Cathay Dragon, please reserve time for security checks and arrive at the boarding gate at least 30 minutes before departure to avoid disruption to your travel plans. It has indeed been a pleasure looking after you, and we hope to see you again soon. On behalf of Captain Dave McPherson and the rest of the team, we thank you for flying Cathay Pacific, a member of the One World Alliance. Once again, thank you and good morning.